Hey all listeners, is back with some more Borderlands 4 and today we're gonna do the final first time playing. Uh, we're gonna do it with the with with another Vault Hunter. We're gonna be doing on a harder course obviously because how this gives you more, makes you take more damage, makes you get more cash. Good quality is better than elemental. And yeah, we'll skip the prologue again. So Gavatar is the only one that we still haven't done. We didn't do a technical video for Siren. We did only kind of about how I kind of wanted to build the character and stuff like that. So yeah. So we're going with the Gravitar. And of course the voice you hear there at the very beginning is of course supposed to be Lilith's voice. Because you find out that later basically and stuff like that, the one saying Vault Hunter.
Vault Hunter. Vault Hunter.
Or yeah, you can use the whole circle at any point. So it's the loot exactly the same here. So we get this machine gun, we get a pistol, we get the mega sword bats, we get throwing knife, yeah, we get cover. So the loot is exactly the same. And we gain the bone pistol. So that's nice. I wonder if that's the same as we got last time. So let's go over the skill trees. And obviously could have been music here though. So what it first the passive is whenever Harlowe uses her action skill on enemies, those enemies become entangled. Take advantage of portion of gun damage and skill damage with all other entangled enemies. So percent of damage dealt. So when you entangle enemies, they use spread the damage to all the other entangled ones. And 0 point, press L1. Okay, stasis. Enemies in stasis take damage instead. Enemies use them to gun, so she kinda has like the old siren stuff. So the whole more like putting them into bubbles and stuff that. And then of course you can slam them down. Retriggering stays as a cooldown, slam damage, immune damage. This is a 10-second cooldown instead of 5. Then we have Flux Generator, external energy field dealing cryo damage over time and attacking enemies. Allows inside the energy field gain over shield. Press L1 to pick up the Flux Generator and toss it again. Damage is 18 per second, duration is 22 seconds. And the cooldown is 55 seconds. This one has a 35-second cooldown, but only lasts 10 seconds. And then Chroma Accelerator fires an unstable energy pocket from Harlow's Chroma Accelerator. Unstable energy pocket passes through enemies. And is clear damage to all enemies present here. Pressing L1 causes the unstable energy pocket to explode, dealing radiation damage. Best by damage is 57 seconds. Detonation damage is 143, and cooldown is 38. So yeah, and 0 point, and these are important first here. So yeah, so the first two augments peer review whenever an enemy enters stasis, spawn a homing reunity point. The target's Harlowe and her allies once the enemy is slammed. The target's Harlowe or her allies once the enemy is slammed, killed, or stasis ends. Okay. Whenever the enter stasis, you spawns the projectile. But the projectile doesn't get shot until the stasis ends or she slams. Kinda. It's a bit weird because they say clearly that when they enter stasis, you spawn the projectile already. But when it says that targets Hollows or her allies once the enemy is slammed, killed, or stasis ends, the unit built against increased action skill duration rate and increased action skill cooldown rate for a duration. If target is in fight for your life, they immediately gain second wind. Action skill cooldown rate plus 50%, action skill duration rate minus 50%. So you make the thing last shorter. The duration of the thing would be shorter, but you will have it more often. seemingly from this. Whenever shoots an enemy with the gun, bullets ricochet off that enemy onto all other enemies in stasis. If all critical hits an enemy, that enemy becomes entangled. Ooh. Right, so if you stasis the enemy, of course, this has to do with whole entangled stuff as well. So whenever you shoot at something into stasis, you hit all other enemies in stasis. But if you critical hit them, they also become entangled. And use entangled enemies, you should get spread normally here. Yeah. Portion of the gun damage. And you share the damage. So that just makes that whole portion way better. And gun bullets will just do that. Okay. And then you could go 3 paths. Inertia. Whenever an enemy or hollow has stasis dies, a new enemy is automatically added to stasis. When a separate hollow section skill resets, or it turns quicker, and the stasis duration rate 20% plus per enemies. Or it turns quicker. So the action skill cooldown is reset, so it resets back to its full duration. I'm guessing, but it will drain quicker and stuff that, So the more you can chain this, the better. Ground state. Every time Hollow slams on enemy, gets increased slam damage and slam radius. Enemies in stasis takes decreased damage. Okay, so you do an L1 slam all the enemies in stasis straight down. Slam radius, enemy damage reduction minus 50% while stasis. Action skill cooldown 35 seconds. Action skill duration 14 seconds. So action skill duration is normally 10 seconds. Cooldown is 35. Yeah, so this gains it lasts an increased amount of time with this. And the thing, cold storage, all damage to enemies in stasis is stored whenever an enemy is slammed or stasis ends, get a crack explosion based on also damage. Centered on that enemy and also automatically freeze other nearby enemies. So the more damage you deal to them while they're in stasis store, yeah. Whenever an enemy is slammed or stasis ends. So if you could slam them multiple times, right? Because slamming does not end it, right? Press L1 again causes the enemy says to be slammed into the ground in the direction using a small explosion. So retriggering stasis has a cooldown, okay? But you could, for example, slam multiple times and then you can multiply explosives, but you want to do as much damage as possible during the stasis window. Whenever, and the capstone is whenever Hollow slams an enemy, because you can combine, of course, and this augment with this capstone. You can have both the capstone and a thing, and then you can combine however you want. So if you could reach the bottom of two things here, of two trees, for example, you could combine like the first one from these, for example, these with the whole enemy slammed, and then you could combine it with this to gain increased slam damage, and then every time you would slam, you would do the freezing effect. All slams enemy creates a singularity on that enemy followed by a cryo explosion. So singularity is good because singularity, we know that effect is the thing that pulls in, like if a grenade has singularity, it pulls enemies in. Like damage takes bonus radiation damage from entangled when Hollow deals radiation gun damage to an enemy. So section skill duration. When Hollow kills an enemy, this create a radiation over. The radiation or this damage based on action skill duration. Okay. Places an additional enemy stasis at the cost of one action skill duration. When stasis automatically slam all enemies straight down. So they will just auto slam for you. Let's see, whenever Hollow entangles an enemy, she gains health regen. Of triggering or returning an action skill, Hollow gains increased gun damage. That's just action skill cooldown rate just by default. Gains critical hit chance with all skills. And it increases every time you entangle enemies. That seems like incredibly good. If you can have as much as every time you entangle an enemy, and entangle is only when you use the action skill. So then you want to have this cooldown to use the action skill as much as possible, because that will just make you crit more stuff that, and it has 10 stacks, and it's 2%, and then it's additional 1% crit chance. Right, because it increases every time you entangle an enemy, so you gain some crit chance just by default that you will always have, no matter if something is entangled or not. But then every time you entangle something, you increase it more and you gain the stacks that way. Okay, that stuff seems pretty good. Can increased elemental damage status effect applications and cryo effectiveness. Can increase cryo damage. This cryo damage again, increased action skill cooldown rate, and that of course would stack with this. Gun handling. This bonus is double one and missing stasis. Increased critical hit damage, okay. Gains fire rate. Kiss give one of hollow kiss on the target enemy, automatic and target other enemy. That seems pretty good. All cryo damage gain lifesteal. If his health is full, she gains overshield. This bonus cryo damage. Freeze an enemy, crit and not temporary card that is constant cryo damage to all enemies around it. All sent to make these increased damage based on her overshield the more full the greater bonus. So that just goes with this. Oh, where is it? Damn it. Which one was it? Was it one up here? Yeah, she gains overshield instead. So if you're at full health, all the cryo damage you do, so then you will be basically be based on the overshield. And was that the only thing that caused the overshield? Is this the only thing that causes the overshield, or was it another way to gain overshield with something above here? I'm trying to think, was there something else that mentioned overshield here? I think that was the first one that mentioned overshield. This don't clear damage on an attacking enemy, it is bonus clear damage to that enemy. If it is clear damage on an target, it is increased bonus damage, so yeah. So the thing with freezing definitely seems to be a focus, at least around these three. It seems to be, except because this one had nuclear, so. Okay. And that also gains increased movement speed by 8%. Oh, it being 8% and then 5 times, that would be like what, 45% movement speed, right? I think. Bonus care damage every enemy is static. Okay. Elemental explosion. Killing an entangled enemy. Increase splash damage. Splash damage. Restore action skill duration. Right, and then let's check out the. I was also quite interested in this because this had the longest cooldown. The green one is or the blue one is the one you start. So that's cooldown 35 seconds. The red one is cooldown 38, but this has the really, really long cooldown flux generator. But you can throw it several times and it lasts for 22 seconds though. So it lasts a pretty long time. So to think about that. For example, this only lasts 10 seconds, has cooldown 35 seconds. This one has cooldown 38 damage or 38 seconds. And that just goes through enemies. So that. So I'm curious to see what the flux generator though, because it has long cooldown. There's enemy she and her has these increased critical hit damage. By status effect, she gains chance to apply status effect to each entangled enemies. It increases melee damage and a melee damage attack gains chance to entangle enemies. Increase maximum shield capacity and increase maximum overshield capacity. So that is beneficial to this skill, the one that makes you gain overshield instead. Because that means, for example, that she will be able to have stronger overshields with this. Other points here. Enemies inside Hollow's Flux Director lose all elemental resistances. Okay, that is just insanely fucking good. But that only causes cryo damage, yeah. I'm guessing there's probably gonna be ways to do other elemental damage than just cryo with this. Get increased status effects, yeah, so you want to be in the flux generator. But of course, the fact that the flux generator, like how large is the area and stuff, that the whole flux generator thing. When a Hollow it's an enemy, she gains increased gun damage. This effect stacks, so when she does nuclear, you gain 2% per stack, and so it's 10% by default, and it's 2% per stack. So so it's not going to be that much. But it is per stack, of course. So it's going to be 10% each time. So it's going to be 50% gun damage you can gain via that. If I go correct, because it's like 2 times 5. So that it's, like. Oh, right, no, right. It's only at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it's 10, so it's 50%. Which that seems pretty good. But that, of course, means when you eradicate an enemy, so you need nuclear weapons with that. In cryo efficiency, based on OV shield. More we shield, the bigger the bonus. Radiation damage, that is increased action skill damage. Freezes an enemy. We didn't check this. Half success again increased radius. And this whenever she re-triggers flux generator, she creates a cryo hazard where a flux generator was located, and a radiation hazard wherever she places her next flux generator. Only one of these hazards may be active at the time. Terminal radius plus 50%. And we have perpetual engine when Harlowe activates her flux generator. And I'm currently uploading the clips from yesterday, by the way. When Harlowe activates her flux generator, she gains damage reduction and increased action skill duration for each target enemy. And its additional machine attack as well as action skill is active. 7% per attack enemy and action skill duration, 7%. Response a Halo sidekick for each ally instead of her flux generator. Right, but does that only work for only if you have that seems to only work like if you're playing with co-op. That seems like really, really bad if that's the case. Because it says for each ally instead of a flux generator. Halo sidekick is modified to each ally and how many of them granting them increased gun damage for it and reload speed. Action skill retrigger overload Harlow's Halo sidekick to increase the effect. The fix text while overloaded. Halo sidekick skill drains faster. Because that usually is relative that only works when you're playing with allies, then like what? Or are you getting up like a permanent NPC ally in this at some point? Right, that's the only thing that I can think of, that you're getting like a permanent NPC ally or whatever, right? Because you aren't summoning something extra here. You aren't summoning like an ally. Or is there something here? I'm checking here if there is something that spawns something for you. If there's something that this causes you to spawn something. No. That's it for each ally. The only thing I can think of is that these hazards that you can spawn. No, they are hazards. They are like just damagings and stuff that is not like a thing. Because for certain characters, right, there are things that you can spawn that are actually like proper allies that actually move around. Like there's one thing that created something like there's one character that created something that you can create like a blob from doing like a certain skill, and then that blob moves around, and that counts as an ally, for example. But yeah, so for each ally. So will it always own? So for each ally, do she include herself as an ally? Because otherwise she won't spawn anything with this. If you pick this and you don't have any co-op people that you play with, does that mean that this does absolutely nothing? And stuff like that, because I would imagine, right, that they would at least have coded it in to make yourself count as an ally, so that you at least get one Halo sidekick always. You always get a single one, basically, is what I'm thinking. And so that, because if this doesn't do anything for you at all, then that seems like really, really bad. Okay, whenever Harlowe and her allies are inside the flux generator radius, they deal bonus card damage. When Harlowe and her allies leave the flux generator, they instead deal bonus radiation damage. Okay. Occasionally shoots radiation projectiles at nearby enemies outside of its radius. If these projectiles are at the enemy, the flux generator then drags them within its radius. And if you re-trigger it, Harlow's flux generator creates a singularity burst. Okay, whenever Harlow triggers her actions, get the next shot for fire from a gun that is of shields. And this bonus. So the bigger your shield, the better. So having turtle shields with this would be insane because this is maximum shield. Does that also count in the overshield? If you have like a big overshield or something, right? With the with this, you know, the shield is down, Harlowe gains increased start circuit chance. Okay, gun handling. Again, chance to entangle interface portion of gun magazine. Press and hold. Okay, and you can swap place with it. Ooh. Bonus radiation damage. Unified theory gains increased action skill damage based on how many allies enemies are inside of a flux generator. Charge skill whenever Harlowe locates a flux generator, it teleports to a location in a cross-site, consuming a charge and creating a shock burst. Okay. While action skill is cooling down, Harlowe deals bonus clear damage with the melee attacks. While action skill is active, Harlowe deals bonus radiation damage with the melee attacks. Okay. And that's another like overshield bonus thing. So there's a lot of overshield bonuses, but I really, really like this nuclear thing here. Neutron decay and the resonance cascade. So you're half-lifing it up basically. So wasn't the one that was like nuclear? And okay, yeah. Violent Horizon seems like really, really good as well. That seems to also be pretty decent. And let's go see the one that's first the unstable energy pocket. Which passes to enemies deals clear damage, and then when you press L1 you cause it to explode. And stuff that you can choose of course when to explode it. And the cooldown is 38 seconds. Increase fire rate, maximum shield capacity and shield recharge rate. So that's only maximum shield capacity. That is not including overshields. So she has a lot of things. So if you get that, you can get maximum shields. If you get this, no, what was it? It's in the green one. Yeah, this maximum shield capacity and increase maximum over shield. And then in the blue one, we had. Did the blue one not have any shield thing at all? I thought the blue one did have a shield thing somewhere. Yeah, he shield is for to gain over shield. But with that, you wanted to reach. Where's the overshield thing? Because this was the overshield thing. Yeah, deals increased damage based on our overshield. The more full, the greater the bonus. And there was also one thing in the green tree, right, that benefited from the overshield thing. Yeah, you did increase gun damage based on our overshield. The more overshield chance, the bigger the bonus. I really, really like the nuclear from that, not trying to reach that. Okay, so it's effect chance, action skill damage, all damage Hollow's unstable energy pocket deals to enemies restored. Yeah, it explodes a portion of that, so damage is done to the Hollow's gun, causing her to deal bonus radiation damage for like 8 seconds. Okay. Blessed by an enemy, it loses a portion of its current total HP as kinetic damage and become frozen. So this thing counts as having health. That's interesting. It becomes frozen, so this changes effect. Reload speed, gain increased action skill cooldown rate, retriggers action skills against increased movement speed. So what is the retriggering about? Because they only showed you the retrigger thing on one of them. Instead of that, they showed you the retriggering of this. For example, the retrigger cooldown. When the shield breaks, it is radiation damage. And you gain overshield depending on the amount of damage you dealt. So the damage you deal with this, does that have to do with how strong the shields are? Because it doesn't say here. Although it gains increased radiation damage. Okay, so you want to reach elementary quickly. But do you actually need a whole status effect chance then? Right, because containment breach, smaller fast moving unstable energy pockets. Shotsky Chroma Accelerator gains charges as follows, keeps it ready for the duration of Chroma Accelerator. Until all charges are used, holding L1 ends the shattering light early and responds a portion of the cooldown for every charge, meaning L1 R2 L2 finds a fast moving unstable energy consuming as charge. So you have 5 charges, so that's changes this skill entirely. So you can fire 5 charges, detonation damage is 71, action skill duration is 21 seconds. And has like a really long 50-second cooldown. That's interesting. Okay, that's a kill skill. And that stacks. Okay. Hollow enters for 3 life sheets or a free unstable energy pocket at nearby enemies if there are any. You fire an unstable energy pocket, so That depends on how good it scales and stuff like that, because yeah. Harlowe touches on answer, but the enemy pocket to her fist and snaps it into an enemy in front of her. Okay. Pulls enemies along as it passes by, and its detonation deals increased damage for every enemy it has already hit. So let's just pulls enemies along. This is the nuclear icon. The radiation of an radiation chest. Damages an irradiated enemy. Ooh. It shoots radiation darts. It triggers an enemy while our action skill is active, automatically irradiate that enemy. Okay. Which gets on an enemy. Ooh. Bounces as it travels. It can no longer be manually detonated. Each time it bounces, it creates a radiation explosion. Get damage. So, I really like nuclear. You know, I'm a big fan of the nuclears. So, we want to reach these to gain increased radiation. We want to have these, the elephant's foot. And was it in the blue tree? No, it's not in the blue tree. Right. There wasn't anything earlier that had. Yeah, yeah, you could get. Yeah, you could gain some nuclear stuff here from that, but usually you can tell on the symbol if there is something that has nuclear. But now you need to be in the green tree here, because in the green tree we had nuclear here, and there's radiation of 200 damage against increased and skill damage, and that it has radiation there as well. And it calls for trigger the action skill. That was radiation damage as well. That is not radiation damage. That is just melee. But can you re-trigger this action skill? Did this even say anything about re-triggering and stuff like that? Because yeah. So what you want today, this, and you want to get to this. And then it's basically these three. It's basically these three you want. I mean, you could kind of want these three as well. But this seems like really good to get to this. Because that is all against increased radiation damage. Whatever damage and stuff like that. But that has to do with if you can re-trigger stuff or not. Is the question here. So we want to reach these two. Right. Because otherwise in the green tree you need to reach these two here. Whenever you apply a status effect to an enemy, you get a chance to apply it to each entangled enemy. It's against that. Because that's a flux generator. Was there any way to deal nuclear with this though? Was there anything here that had to do with nuclear at all? No. Except for this one. This one had to do with nuclear. But then that seems to be so weird. Because he has nothing else in any of these trees. that do radiation. Like, why is there a radiation thing over here? For example, like why? Because there's nothing here that kind of benefits seemingly. Yeah, sure, that increases elemental damage and that would affect the thing as well, but it also increases car effectiveness, stuff that, so, but that just seems like rather weird. Like, why? Because, like, none of these are radiation and stuff that either. The only thing is this. So that seems like very much of an investment to do to reach that. This one can get, of course, radiation early there when you place the next flux generator, stuff that, and then you have radiation with these. Uh, yeah, when you leave the flux generator, they instead a bonus. Because that will also shoot things, the radiation things and stuff that. But yeah, so we're gonna take this. We're gonna try and reach this section here because that's a lot of radiation stuff. So what do we take first? We can get maximum C capacity early on though. Increase action skill damage. Yes, action skill damage. So we can get more damage from this. After we take and equip that. We have to take that, and then we want to have that. Was that low volume? No. 60 volume seems to be fine. And a quick customization here. We have that one that's also just a regular one that's just different with the whole. Let's just go with the default one. So you can choose to be thick or do not be thick. And stuff that. In reality. Now let's just go with the default stuff. And let's not really care about those things. Because that could take a while. We took quite a while there though, talking about things. I don't need to have the light on here, it's pretty bright itself. So yes, we're currently uploading. First part is already uploaded, that's good. And that is part 2 we're currently uploading there. Because there is a limit to how many parts I can record due to hard drive space and stuff that. Even though technically I do have room to do for recordings, right? I do have enough room for it. I might have to delete the clips, of course, that I have already uploaded and stuff that, right? So hopefully, by the time that we're done with 2 parts, we can just go and delete the other parts and exit out of the game, and then record the other 2 parts afterwards.
Have I mentioned how promising you look? Welcome to the Crimson Resistance, new RJ. Oh gosh, there's so much to do. Let me give you the tour. We've got everything we'll need to free this planet. A couple shacks, a banner. Complimentary hot dogs.
So maybe we just avoid picking up gray stuff.
I set up our recruitment center on this beach because it's so nice, and not because I was stuck or scared. Not a ton of applicants lately.
Right, we did already have a gray one. We can just keep that.
It was just a matter of time.
I'm pretty certain though that technically we could, before we go and finish the first quest that requires you to hover over, I'm pretty certain that there is a base that you could reach without having to go across the bridge.
Much time.
Right?
Take some hot dogs.
Yeah, I'm not taste hot dogs. Not yet, though. Okay, let's just get a white rather. Um, why is this icon like green and stuff like it's very clearly it is a bit weird. Like, why can't it be the color that it is here? For example, like I can understand, right, that it shows that for every character, that it always shows up as being green and stuff that, you know.
Okay, these are batteries.
They're complimentary. You're supposed to compliment them. Rude. Whatever. Look, I got it hard out here. All my top dogs got eaten by those psychopathic rippers higher up on the beach.
Okay. How about I take care of your Ripper problem?
Really? I mean, really good job showing initiative, rookie. Come on, there, this way.
Oh, that's pretty good. So that's a grenade. It's a throw knife. Right, so it seems like the thing also explodes when it comes into contact with something, or once it reaches a certain like thing. But definitely has a pretty lengthy cooldown, so anything that gives that cooldown reduction would seemingly be very important as well. Whenever a player starts, she gains action skill. Test subjects would be good as well. All damage halos, this damage is stored whenever it explodes. Bonus radiation damage. Yeah, that seems to be very good, and you can capture there to gain bonus radiation damage, right? With, you know, the thing. Making the action skill deal more damage seems to be a good idea, since, you know, the cooldown is pretty lengthy with the whole 38 seconds and stuff that. But it also makes me feel that you don't want to waste it, right? You don't want to waste it at all. Oh, follow Claptrap, okay. Like, so I'm guessing that he didn't move out from the place. Already checked the area. Oh! Accidentally.
That old order broadcast tower. I was gonna use it to send out a planet-wide recruitment message, but I couldn't get up the elevator without getting taken apart by rippers.
Let's go here a bit, because there was stuff to kill here. Let's actually go over here, because usually I go over here. Even like the first time I played, I went over here a bit, because there are extra stuff here you can kill use. It doesn't take a long time to do it all. But it feels like this is the cooldown skill you don't want to use often.
Oh, I mapped that out perfectly.
as long as like the enemies are easy and stuff that, right? Like you, like this is definitely something you only want to fight if there's like a ton of enemies. You know, you want to feel like, you know. Stop derping around, Snake. Yoink! Yoink! Is these the flying ones? Yeah, you are. Look that. Over here. This far is really slow actually. Yeah, the default aim speed is not very good in this. Stuff that I know I usually would like change the default speed so I can have faster, so you can track them faster and stuff that's right, because you know they are of course easier to shoot with certain weapons also. There we go.
Surprising no one.
Surprising no. Yes. More action skill damage. Because yeah, these are just a big deal, basic and stuff that, you know. Whenever it explodes, because it will explode at the end. Because that means that it will last 8 seconds after it has ended and stuff that's right, meaning you gain benefits from afterwards and stuff that, you know, which is really good. Okay. Okay, where did you go? Okay. And nothing super good. Because if you only wait to pick up like green stuff, then things are gonna change quite a bit. More over there. Hopefully they will leave me alone. But I'm guessing they are not going to leave me alone. They're just there though. There's just gonna be ammo. We could change this, I think, into assault. Oh, that's pistol mode. Under sesame mode, okay. Can we gain access to steel shoulder this way? Which is decent. Level 5. Nice. Ooh, level... Oh! He got like... Okay, yeah, it's like its damage. There's nothing wrong with its damage. It's like in comparison to the other skills, right? Like sure, like Rafa's stuff can kill stuff, and the other characters' stuff can kill stuff too. But this one actually feels like okay. Like yes, it has a pretty lengthy cooldown, but it feels like it's like really good because it used this is damage like very you know. So these enemies are super far away, no? Okay. And then they're still on the floor a bit, so you know. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Oh, right, and there's this here that we can loot actually.
This is prisoner 437011-K.
Yeah, that's a lucky Mookie.
They don't let us use our names or else they make us do bad things to ourselves. As part of my re-education, I'm required to log daily attestations to demonstrate remorse, so log 1019. I, prisoner 437011-K, do hereby acknowledge and affirm my guilt. I understand that the Order alone keeps Kairos alive. I understand that Kairos' survival is paramount to the survival of the universe. I understand that by
Okay,
placing
this
my
is this
selfish
place, yeah,
intentions
Banner
above those of the
Cyclone.
Order, I threaten the Order
And we
and therefore all life throughout the universe. I regret my actions and sincerely regret
yoink, yoink.
walking on grass without authorization. I swear to never make the same mistake or any other mistake knowing or otherwise in the war.
Oh yeah, he deals a lot of damage if I get hit. Okay. Okay, just to be safe.
Always meets bunches.
He didn't drop anything though, but you know. I think that was still worth because you know that was a level 6-1, you know, and
I
stuff
can feel
that,
the
you know.
paranoia from here. Almost there.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, they were very accurate. I want to try and shoot them with this. We can.
Not today, Ripper. I'm contributing.
Okay. Alright, so let's run. Right over here a little bit.
Exactly as
Also,
a
we can
plan.
do this. Hit him a bunch. He's just taking a lot more damage. Because he's affected by this stuff. Okay, heal. We can hit with that. Okay. Sweet. And he used the fucking turret, of course he used the fucking turret. Almost dead. There's something that was a Molly one that we saw. Okay, so we got some green stuff and we got some blue stuff. Yeah, we ended up getting a shotgun. Yeah, so Molly was a shotgun. Ooh, 324 damage on the elemental like lightning and elemental fire dust. Yeah, that's actually that's nice. So Some assault rifle with 68 DPS. It's Jacobs. But we take those. Let's use that, use the grey one. Okay, right, and we're almost at the next level. And then we can get one more point into that to do even more action skill damage. Then the shock use seems like really good because the shock deals a higher damage potential, yeah. Into it though, man. Yeah, that resists that. But so it was already dead. We can do the vitamin fence here. Doing that smaller one as well. Let's go and get rid of the grey one. So I'm guessing the turrets don't stay up forever. Because there was no way I dealt enough damage to the turret here. Yeah, that's explosive, by the way. And this is also where you do a certain side quest, by the way, where you pick up a thing that's like usually on this box here, and you have to take it back. As I said, I can't take it back to the feet. So now that I have a nuclear barrel here, stuff that, you know. Ooh, okay, that's just. So. Yo, purples really. Okay, something was a throwing thing here. So we can use that. We got a blood of submachine gun. And a blood of Aurora Daedalus submachine gun. But jag tyckte att blood of these Jacobs thing. So that's 81 DPS. Really decent. Alt firefight zip rockets. So full auto zip rockets. Yeah, zip rocket. It's not an actual path from something else. But this one looks really funky. Hell yeah. When it has good splash already, it's also on the other one. You know, I do love me a good Maliwan because I feel like Maliwan is going to be really good on her and stuff that probably. Okay. Gordon Freeman. Purple, no. Damn it. Okay, I only got the green out of that instead of the purple thing. Oh, that's another shotgun though, that's the same type of shotgun. It's really hard to grab the correct thing sometimes when you bring up several things like that, like because of the whole, you know, the aiming speed. So where's the aiming speed exactly? It's in controls, right? Yeah. So it will be this. Either while you're aiming or when you're not aiming as well. So you will have to have these. You know. So you can both aim faster with that and aim faster with the other thing as well. I need to go back and play Borderlands 3 at some point, by the way, and stuff that, you know, just because I want to get the story, because I know that